This article by Matt Schumer, Something Big is Happening, has been making the rounds and has set off a firestorm. So let's talk about it. Now, you should definitely read this article. In it, he talks about how quickly AI is developing and how it's taken him by surprise and it's poised to take all of us by surprise. The fact is that we have advanced significantly from 2023, 2024, 2025 to now, and AI has significantly improved in many different facets. And basically, the average user does not fully understand how quickly this has happened and how much it's going to continue to advance. So that's some of the crux of the article. He goes on to give some examples, talk about things that will be disrupted, and I want to talk about a couple of those things. First off, the areas that I agree, yes, absolutely, AI has advanced significantly in the past few years. We've seen major improvements in a lot of the models, in the capabilities, things like that. And AI is definitely poised to disrupt many different areas, so different jobs, different sectors of the economy, and we will definitely see that. We're already seeing it to some extent in some places, and certainly it's going to continue to disrupt many jobs and areas. However, is this imminent? And that's what I want to talk about. Now, I am not convinced that it is as imminent as this article and others like it are saying. And I say that for primarily two reasons. First off is the fact that this article and others like it are written by people in the AI industry. They have significant incentive to say that it is going to be disruptive. Matt Schumer is the CEO of an AI company, and so it is certainly in his interest to tell all of us that AI is going to disrupt your job, and you need to be investing significant time and resources into it. This is classic marketing behavior, is you will be left behind if you don't use my product or our product. And so that's the first thing that really stands out to me. Every major executive of an AI company or associated with an AI company is doing the same thing. Microsoft's head of AI is also saying that within 18 months, most white-collar jobs are going to be gone. Now, Microsoft has a clear incentive to push very hard on AI because they have invested significant money into AI and they need to see a return somehow. This is one of the major issues with AI is the top companies in the world, especially in the United States, have invested significant amount of money into AI, and they need everybody to be using it in order to recoup that investment. Now, the second thing that really stands out to me is the fact that a lot of these things that AI is doing really well now, we'll use coding as an example, are some of the low-hanging fruit for AI. It is the sort of thing that AI should be doing very well. And we've seen significant improvements in it, no doubt. However, there is a big difference from coding a completely new standalone app to asking and having AI code something for a large company with a massive code base. And I think this is something that can be easily overlooked when you are in the AI world, you're in the tech industry, in Silicon Valley, for example. When you're at the forefront of this, it's difficult to really see that the amount of change that would have to happen at large organizations and even small organizations in order for AI to fully take over even the coding jobs and the coding roles within those companies. Now, we definitely have some companies who are using AI for a lot of things. Spotify says that they are using AI for a lot of their coding. But when we think about the organizational change that would have to take place for most companies in order to have AI be the dominant factor in coding, it's significant. This sort of cultural change is not something fast. Anybody who has worked in corporate America, for example, knows that the amount of work and time it takes to shift a culture, even for something good, is massive. It takes years and years to do something like that. So to think that AI is going to come in and fully disrupt cultures of large organizations with lots of employees in the matter of a year, 18 months, it's difficult. And a lot of companies, especially large companies, have large complex code bases that their systems are built on. So how do you take AI, for example, and incorporate it into that, where it is expected to be able to understand all of the complexities and nuances of the apps that it's working in order to create new features that aren't going to break everything else for everyone. Now, that's a tall order, and this is something that AI should be very, very good at. You extend that to other industries. The article, for example, talks about the legal field. Is it really going to be the case within these large institutions that they're going to turn over legal review to AI? Something that is known to hallucinate, that is known to get things wrong, because a law is writing on some of these contracts, legal reviews, things like that. Now, I've seen the conversation of some lawyers as well talking about the fact that some of their work, some of their extensive billable work, is simply reviewing documents, reviewing things that something like ChatGPT has produced in order to find all of the errors in it and correct those errors. And I think we can continue to extend that into other fields, that there is going to be disruption, but the time for that's going to take is probably going to be significantly longer. And the amount of disruption, I think, is probably going to be less than you might expect from some of these articles pushed by leaders within the technology and AI space. Now, I think those who use AI appropriately are going to be at an advantage, no doubt. They're going to be able to do things quicker, more efficiently, but also the level of autonomy that we're going to give to AI, I do not think is going to reach the levels, not in the near term, that many of these folks, CEOs and heads of AI, are thinking that it will.